Good morning. Thanks for coming. I'm a little nervous, so bear with me. Before I share my story with you all, I just want to leave this here so you guys can think about this while I talk. Did you know that 1 out of every 5 Americans are suffering with mental illness in the workplace? I'm one of them. If you're like me, I wake up most days drained, anxious, depressed even. So I try to hide these normal feelings, and I want to emphasize on the word normal because they are. Some of you probably didn't judge, you related when I said those statements, and I just want to put out there that I am very nervous, and you'll see why in a second. So on my first interview with Ariel, she asked me based off the conversation we were having if I was an introvert, and of course I didn't know what the word was. So I asked her to define it, and when she did, she defined me in a few words. For those of you who don't know, an introvert is someone who is somewhat shy. They lose energy in social settings, and they gain it back when they're alone. This College of Social Innovation has taught me that being vulnerable is not only okay, but it leads to happiness. So all my emotions, I'm very happy to be able to share this in front of so many people. So, quick story. I came from living with just myself in my own apartment, had my own car, and now I came here and I live with 3 younger strangers. I am 25, I'm the oldest in the cohort. So it was a huge gear shift for me. From that, I went to having a demanding commute, to a demanding schedule, and I'm not a party goer by any means, so it was hard. The first day of interning, one of my roommates actually decided to throw a gathering, which I would call a party if it's more than 4 people. So she decided to throw this after work, and I couldn't understand how a person would want to socialize with so many people after an 8-hour work shift and a 2-hour commute. So I kind of went off on my roommate. I was impulsive, and I just told her how I felt, and I explained to her that I felt like I didn't need to explain to her why I felt the way I felt, and it was like it's my apartment, you know? So long story short, it was uncomfortable settling into the apartments, but I appreciate every one of you in this cohort, and I appreciate my CfSI staff and my citizen school team because I've gained so much insight from this experience, and one of them being sharing your story. We all have stuff, we all have a story, and I waited a week to speak to my roommate, and that one conversation changed the entire dynamic of the household. It changed how I set off and changed my goals for this program. So she shared her story with me, which was unexpected because I kind of went off on her. And she explained to me that when she's feeling depressed and she's feeling down, she looks for social gatherings to make her feel better. And I was different. I was the opposite. You know, I like to reflect on it, so maybe better I can adjust if it happens again. That one conversation changed how I thought about everything. It changed the space in the household. I no longer referred to it as my apartment. It was our shared space. It was a sense of refreshing feeling when I got home. And if there's one thing you take from this story today, I challenge you guys to not know yourself and seek self-improvement, but share yourself and see that improvement come out in others. Because as a society, we're only as strong as our weakest link, so help me make our society strong again. Thank you.